What's going on, everybody? Matt Manduke here. I'm at the Palace of Depression and I'm doing an update video because I haven't done it since 2014, even though I re-released that one actually earlier this year. They have made a lot of progress, and I'm going to go ahead and flip this camera around so that you can see the progress that they've made. And then after we do the outside and the progress that they've made on the outside, the gentleman has offered to give me a tour on the inside where he will show the progress that they've made inside. This is a completely different crew than I worked with last time, and I'm expecting this to be much more detailed. They did say that Isaiah from Isaiah's Garden had actually came here and visited, so I am really expecting some exquisite work inside, because from what I've seen from the new work, it is great. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and turn this camera around so you can see the work for yourself. Alright, so as you approach, this is more or less what you see. There is a pole barn off to the side here. You can see that's mostly what you see from the road, but there is a path from the pole barn to this area, and all of this is new to me. There was a bit of a path. I'm going to leave my light here for the inside, but I want to pay attention to a lot of the detail, like even the handrails here are a detail that wasn't there before. I believe this is going to be another stairway. I'm not sure. They actually have top fill in here. I don't know that this project is done. I don't think the project is completely done. But these walls were not here last time I was here, and you can see there's gears in here. There's some really cool pieces of that. It looks like ceramic. There's some different colored bottles just decorated all through, different colored glass, some conch shells, and of course on the other side there's, I don't know what kind of piece of metal that is, but I think it's cool. And you guys know that I like these things. Mostly brickwork, but it is mostly brickwork. Now I don't really think that I want to look at the side here, because ultimately it doesn't look like it's done, so we're just going to skip that and we're going to move along here. This was an entrance way before, but there was no door in here, so this is something new. And if we get up close, they actually have some information. All of this was here, but we're going to cover that in a second. We're going to do the outside because we didn't really do the outside before. There's a cute little bench here with what looks like a Japanese style cement thing. You can see from up here, which I think is meant to be the main entranceway, the entire front of the house is done. Last time I was here, the 3 chimneys were in, but they didn't have all of this done, and I don't know that this is completely done yet, but we will talk to the guy, we'll find out. There are some tombstones here. I don't know that these tombstones are necessarily to do with the house, but we will ask the guy when we go in. That says 1885 to 1945, John W. Brown, and this one says Mother Anne Frampton, wife of John Young. They do have some landscaping in here, and you know, some little interesting things. There is a trail around the pole, but I'm not going to take that. I'm curious about the ticket booth because we didn't really do that before, because the property itself was riddled with just different stuff from the amount of construction going on. Now there is some hubcaps on here. There's some cement work. They said that this ticket booth is all original, so this is actually an original structure. And as we come inside, it is believable from what you can see. A little small for me to be taking tickets, but I don't know that that's what they do now. And then this area here is another area that I hadn't seen before, because it just simply wasn't done. I'm looking at the sides. I guess most of this is original construction, but not all of it. A lot of it looks like there's new cement. They did put in a wall here, and there is a stream that runs right through here, which is fairly cool. It doesn't look like it's deep enough to kayak in. Well, it's deep enough to get my kayak in, but I don't see myself doing that. And we're just going to step through here and step off to the side. A little bit of landscaping. There's some lines, almost as though this canal might have actually been something at some point. I don't know. Perhaps. And they actually have it decorated and clean outside, which is something that it wasn't before. But like I said, this is something, this whole porch here, that was not in place when I was here before. And the way these pillars are done, they're worth taking a look at. Especially like just fish inside of that paperweight. It looks like it might have been a bowl. Piece of metal. Just some interesting things. A Dodge hubcap, but everybody knows how I feel about that. But I like that gem, and there's stuff, and it's definitely worth coming to see for yourself, because there's no way that the video is doing it justice. And then as you look across, there's still some paperweights through there. There's definitely more in the pillars, but I think the pillars probably pick up light depending on the sunlight. And definitely has some interesting things. I bet there's a lot of interest in the things inside, because that's ultimately there is a cool archway. That is where I went in before, but clearly that's not happening now. This archway was new before, and I'm not entirely sure. There's a bunch of tools in there. I'm just going to skip that. But out back, there was like a little pathway in the woods. I'm not going to be doing that. I don't want to show most of that stuff, so I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to pause. If you look up, there's actually what looks like candle spots in the pillars. Pillar, this looks like it's a fender from a motorcycle. Nice welcome. There's another door here, has that same information on it. There's a window here, but that's still boarded off. This piece is particularly interesting. There's another one of those metal pieces. There's some like cool shards in here. Just interesting things. And this, as well as Isaiah's garden, were some of the things that inspired me to do the story on my dashboard. So that's part of the reason why I like to show this kind of stuff. It is a very mosaic and very interesting style that is just piecing different things together. So let me go ahead and knock, and we'll see what goes. Oh, I want to point out that bowling ball there, because I think that's awesome. And that piece there. There are definitely some interesting pieces here, but I'm going to knock and we'll see what happens from there. Alright, so we have come inside. I talked to the, I guess he's the project manager, and I got his information. His information is in the description. If anybody is looking to give donations or help out in some way, I'm not sure everything they're asking for, but his number is in there, his email address is in there, and you can contact him and he can tell you what he needs or what you can do to help him, or if you want to arrange a visit for yourself. And he did say something about Founders Day. They expect to be done in May of next year, and they will be doing an event here. I like that piece of glass and how it lets some light through. I like the little pieces and the different things, but you guys already all know that. Now, I did bring my light because even though direct light doesn't really help, last time I found that I didn't have enough light, and last time I was using Google Glass, so I didn't have the best of contact. Now this would be the main den, and this is the main fireplace, which I would believe would be a cooking fireplace in that time, because it is huge. And I believe that's part of the triple chimney, but I think there's a fireplace in the basement. Now they did say that I can't go into the basement, but if I'm here next year when they are done, then I will check it out then. There's a lot of similar to that style pieces. There's no Chevrolet emblem. We're going to do this room, and then we're going to go into the workshop room. That one's beautiful. Look at that. The detail on camera rest. And in the workshop there is another that's actually a piece of glass that is shining through, which brings in some natural light. There is still some windows that apparently need to be finished in some way, but there are a couple pieces of metal, and it looks like some that might be marble or granite just broken up in here. The mushroom is actually really cool. I don't know that I need and just different rocks and different bricks and different stones. There's some sandstone, there's some granite, there's some marble, there's different things. This was the workshop room according to what the project manager, or I guess he's in charge of the entire thing, was saying. And we're just going to head from here into what was the kitchen, and he says that I can see a little bit that this is the area that they're working in, so we're not going to be able to see everything. But we're going to start there because I like to make my way from one wall around. There's a couple pieces there, and as you can see, there's some different kinds of rocks and whatnot. Oh wow. That's where he is, and maybe he doesn't want me here, I don't know. But that is exquisite. I don't want to go up that way because that's where they're working. And that bottle's cool as it goes all the way through. And I guess that's the end of my trip. They're working down there, so I don't want to get too involved. That is the Palace of Depression as far as I can see, and I am looking forward to next year when they actually complete the place, as all of this will be done, and you will see it all from me if I'm in fact around. If you guys enjoyed this and you want to see what other adventures and stuff that I've done and places that I've gone, so you can check out those videos there, or if you want to get your chance to win one of 3 rings, you can check out that video there. As always, guys, I want you to like the video, subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you, my friends, later.